It is week 10, believe it or not, and I'm here in head coach Stephen Fitzhugh's office right now this morning. It is game day. We're doing this show kind of late this week, so it's Thursday morning. It's early and a lot going on. Coach just got off the radio and he's talking about this game. So a lot of people want to talk about the upcoming game, Coach. But before we do, I do want to talk about week 9 because, we get a good win against a really solid Ferriday team. I mean, they came out, ready to play, physical, fast, and I guess the most important thing is we're 9-0. We won the game. We are undefeated in district, undefeated on the season, and the ideal path, we're still on it. But we did sputter a little bit there in the first half, down going into the half, and I thought it was a great game, Coach. Talk about it for just a minute.
Well, it was. We talked about before the game that we knew Ferriday is a very dangerous, explosive team. Of course, I'm the head track coach as well, so I've seen those guys on the track, and they're a very, very talented team. Speed on not just the offense side, but the defense side. A lot of people they talk about the speed of receivers and stuff like that, but they don't always talk about the speed of D-line, linebackers, DBs, and that was as fast of a defensive team that we have seen all year long. And so, again, we talked before the game that regardless of how the game starts, whether we're up 2 touchdowns or whether they're up 2 touchdowns, it is a 4-quarter ball game. And so our guys were prepared for that. And, they took the opening kickoff back and scored right off the bat. And then, again, they were up 12-7 at halftime. And our guys did not hit the panic button. Re-emphasized at halftime what we had talked about, a 4-quarter ball game. And so real proud of the way our guys continued to come out and battle. I thought defense, except for one series, didn't give up any major big plays and come out in the third quarter and start off with a couple of turnovers that led to touchdowns. That was huge. And then offensively, especially after the game went from a 35-12 to all of a sudden 35-24 in just a matter of 30 seconds. And then our offense comes out, and that's 9 minutes left in the game. Our offense comes out and puts together a 8-minute drive that was just outstanding. Luke made some Houdini runs on that, getting out of there and advancing the sticks to get a first down. Jude just kept pounding away, and again, all that starts with our guys up front. Tate Kitchens came in there in the second half and jumped back in the lineup, and again, just real proud of the effort from offense and defense, the way the guys battled for 4 quarters and fought through some adversity that we had not seen yet this year like that.
Definitely a sign of maturity and experience, because anytime that you 13 seconds into the game you're down a touchdown, it just it happened really fast. I think we were still introducing what was going to happen at the game, and they were already up a touchdown. Not only that, but then we go out in the first quarter and our offense, we put together a couple of kind of long drives, but we don't cap them off with scores. We turn the ball over, we get a sack, we have interception, sack, fumble, punt. So those were our first pretty much 4 possessions. So we really kind of sputtered on offense. Glad we could figure it out. There's a couple things that I learned about this team. It's week 9. We've seen Jude run the ball all year, and I guess we knew he was capable of touching the ball 35 times in a game. We just never seen it before. So, you learn that in the game, and then now you realize you have a closer in those types of games, and so that was good to see.
Yeah, because again, that takes a toll on the body when you touch the ball that many times. But his work ethic, his work in the weight room, he's a solid kid that his body can take that better than a lot of other people certainly can, and so. But yeah, and I think our offense had close to 70 plays, whereas Ferriday had around 30. And so, again, to be able to grind out some long drives like that was huge for our offense, and for our defense to get Ferriday off the field. I think we had 5 of 9 were 3-and-out series, and so that was huge for defense.
Especially as you get into the second half, your offense really turns the corner. You mentioned Tate coming in. He didn't play to start the game, came in, seemed to make a difference. It looks like there were some schematic things that you guys did, getting a lead blocker out in front of our running back, and it seemed to really help our running game. And those in-game adjustments were just, I think they were, a big difference in the game.
And that's nice that our guys can make adjustments like that. Our offense coach got together and tweaked a few things here and there at halftime, and but again, just it was big for our offense to control the clock. Like I say, probably 8 minutes in the third quarter and at least 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. Keep it out of their hands, and so that was big.
Well, they definitely were a fast team. We saw that from the kickoff. They were physical. I mean, the bumps and bruises start adding up throughout the season, but you get into week 9. And pretty much everybody has them. It's just trying to decide if you're going to be 100% by the following game. And so, we'll see tonight. But I thought it was a good game. Ferriday's an excellent team, a dangerous team that nobody probably wants to see. So it was a good win and a good test that we had. It also shows us just a couple weeks ago they had a close game with Oak Grove, who we play, here in week 10. And at the time, it was what was it, 12-8 or 13-8? It was
that ball game was 13-6. I believe,
that's right.
The final score.
13-6. And when I saw the score, I was a little puzzled by it. But after seeing Faraday's defense, and then watching Oak Grove's defense on film, those are the two best defenses we will play this year. And we do want to talk about the Oak Grove game, but good win, 9-0. And, we'll make the trip to Oak Grove on Thursday. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsors, McDonald's on Highway 165 in North Monroe. And then we'll go to our senior spotlight, and we'll come back with Coach and talk about the Tigers game tonight. Stay with us.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
Welcome into our senior spotlight this week for week 10. This is number 33, Barrett Freeland, a senior defensive back, also plays a lot of special teams. And Barrett, I got to tell you, watching you out there on Friday night, it's a lot of fun. I see you defending those passes, making tackles, as a gunner on your kickoff and stuff like that. But I just want to tell you, about a year ago, we didn't know. A little more than a year ago, I guess, you got sick. So there's a lot to your story, yes, especially for the past 2 years since you moved to Monroe. Yes. So, hey, if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about your story from moving here and having some health issues.
Yes, sir. The summer before my sophomore year is whenever we moved up here. My parents strictly moved up here just for the school. It wasn't work-related or anything, so I really do appreciate them making that sacrifice for me. We chose OCS because it wasn't just about the academics or the sports or anything, but because it was a Christian education, and my parents believe that is very fundamental in the early stages of my life. And so, we moved here this summer for my 10th grade year, got into the summer workouts, plugged in with all the guys on the team, had a lot of fun there. School kicked off. I was able to have a good year of football, and a whole year of track there, and I was able to pole vault some. And then after that, about the end of my 10th grade year, I started having some health issues and got diagnosed with UC a little bit later on, ulcerative colitis. Was able to make it through pre-11th grade summer workouts. And then right before the season started, I was projected to possibly start and start making a little
playing
more of an
time,
impact.
rotate
Yes,
at least,
playing
yeah.
time, yes, sir. And then I was able to play in the scrimmage against Captain Shreve.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I started getting really sick, losing a lot of weight. We had to go up to Minnesota to the Mayo Clinic, and I was re-diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and a lot of stuff just started happening. I was just very thankful that the doctors had me able to be back, just at least be with the team. And I was able to dress out, did not get to play at all. But I was able to practice and just be there with the team and just be on the sidelines and cheering them on. And we had a great run last year. And then I've been very strict about my diet. I've been very strict about medicine that I'm taking, making sure I'm doing everything correctly. And I've been able to, so far, knock on wood, very thankful to God that I've been able to play this year and just be able to have an uninterrupted year. Not just school and sports, but just the experience of high school in general.
Absolutely, and it is an incredible story. And I just remember last year, not a lot of people knew the extent to what you and your family were going through at that time with the health issues. The year before. On top of that, like you said, you moving here, coming into a new environment. But hearing you talk about your discipline, that doesn't surprise me because. I teach 10th grade, so when you came to school here,
Yes,
I was probably one of the first teachers you met,
Yes,
on campus. And so seeing you in class and your discipline, and then seeing you out there on the field and making being able to turn around something that's, really difficult. And, I remember seeing you, and you probably weighed 40 pounds less than you do now.
Yes, sir, I did. So over the course of a year, I lost and regained, when we put it all together, about 70 to 80 pounds.
Good gracious.
I'd go from 155 to 120, back to 140, 130, 125, back to 150.
Yeah, and no offense, but relative to your overall frame,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a lot of
That's
weight.
a lot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so that discipline comes into play with your academics. You do well academically. I know that, but you do some other things here at school, and one of those is pole vaulting.
Yes,
and I watch you out there practicing, and you're disciplined in that. So is that something that you've done since you were a kid, or something you just like one day, like, hey, I can try this?
So it's a funny story. I was out there, we were running hundreds, I believe, or pushing sleds at summer workouts before my 10th grade year. We just moved up here, and Coach Fitzhugh came up to me, and I knew that he was the football coach and the track coach, and he asked me, hey, have you ever pole vaulted? And I said, no, sir. He said, would you like to try it? Because, you seem like you'd be all right at it. And I said, sure, I'll try it, give it a whirl. And so I did a couple of summer camps and with Coach Turner Madden, and he said, hey, you got a real good potential here. You could really do something with it. And so I did, and I was able to make it all the way to state, and I placed third.
Yeah.
So
well, that's awesome, especially after missing all that time, of preparation and practice. And
Yes,
so, that's very cool. So last thing I want to ask you, you've been a part of this program. A lot of your teammates or classmates have been here for a long, long time. So you kind of jumped right in,
Yes,
to
sir.
really a very active and competitive class. And, what's it been like with your classmates and with your teammates here, just assimilating into the OCS environment?
it was probably the easiest transition I've ever made in my life. Everybody was just very open and friendly, and I was able to plug in everywhere, sports, classes, church, just the community in general up here. OCS is a great family. It's been an awesome experience, and I'm just really thankful for everybody just pouring into me and just realizing, hey, new guy, let's make him feel welcome. And and I'll funny story.
Okay.
So Coach Bentley, one of my first summer workouts, said, hey, we got Barrett Freeland. He's from Walsh High School. Y'all give him a big welcome. And that's how I got the nickname.
So everybody calls you Walsh.
And
That's
I
right.
said, Coach, it's Welsh. Oh yeah, okay, my bad. Everybody it's the name stuck, and they started
It's
calling
just-
me Walsh because of that. So
Well, it's always good to
Yes,
have a
sir.
nickname, an endearing
Yes, sir.
nickname. Well, look, it's really neat. It is a testimony that you have, and it's been neat to see from the outside looking in. Of course, we thought about you a lot last year. I know you guys tuned in to the football games and coaches shows, so it's really an honor for me to sit here with you, talk about this, and to watch you play out there each Friday night. So,
yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you.
yeah, well, thank you, and I do want to wish you the best. I want to wish your team the best.
Yes, sir.
This Thursday, as we take on the Tigers, we travel
Yes,
over
sir.
there and like to have a good win in that game,
Yes,
and then
sir.
a good run through the playoffs.
Yes, sir. That's what
All
we're planning on.
Yep. Well, thank you for your time,
Yes,
Barrett,
sir.
and thank
Yes,
you
sir.
guys for watching. And we're going to get back with Coach Fitzhugh to talk about the upcoming Oak Grove game. Stay tuned.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
Welcome back, Eagle fans. I want to thank Barrett and all the other seniors so far this year for taking part in the Senior Spotlight. I think we have 2 more seniors to go, and we'll get those as we go into the playoffs. But do want to thank those guys. It's always neat to see what they have going on. Big game tonight, Coach. Thursday night, we get I don't know who all is playing in our area, but we have a big game. I heard you on the radio where you were trying to teach your grandbaby first words, beat Oak Grove.
Yes, my wife usually posts something on Facebook that we were teaching our kids at a young age to beat Oak Grove, and they could talk then. My grandson can't talk. We were trying to get it to work for him. But all he says is ball.
Well, that's good. That's a good first word.
It is.
Good start. So he'll have that beat Oak Grove.
We'll have it
phrase.
down next year by this time.
Yep, before too long. So, well, I know it's a game that people have had circled on their calendars since the schedule came out, both from Oak Grove and Ouachita Christian fans, and especially after last year. They came here. We lost 44 to 14. They outgained us 464 yards to 202 yards. We had ball security issues. There's a lot of things that we struggled with last year in Week 10 for our only loss of the year. Coach, this is not the same Oak Grove team. They lost a lot of players. Of course, we lost a lot too. So what do you expect in the game tonight from this Oak Grove team?
It's going to be a battle. I mean, it's every year, regardless of what the records are by each team, regardless of how many seniors each team has. It's a battle every year because it's that rival game, OCS Oak Grove, that again, these guys play against each other starting in junior high, now playing JV, and so it's been a good, healthy rivalry through the years. And certainly again this year is no different. There's going to be a battle for 4 quarters. It's one of those situations. We're 9-0 and undefeated in district. Oak Grove has 1 district loss, and so they're fighting for a district championship tonight as well, trying to give us our only district loss and make it a 3-way tie. And so there's no doubt it's senior night up there. And again, when OCS Oak Grove gets together, it's just always going to be a battle year in and year out, and this year's not going to be any different.
Yeah, I agree. And people say that with rivalry games, throw the stats, throw the records out, but I really think that rings true with this game tonight. I expect a wild atmosphere. I mean, they're going to have tons of people there, so it's going to be a great game, a great atmosphere to close out the season. Looking at this team on film, I mentioned it in the first part of the show. Their defense looks really good. They have 6 returning starters on defense. I do want to mention one of them, number 6, Devin Franklin. And Devin, he has an older brother that went to Oklahoma State. Now he's playing at Louisiana Tech, I believe. But he's a dynamic athlete. But last year in the game against us, he had 11 tackles, forced fumble, and an interception. So he was kind of a menace. I guess he kind of plays that rover
He does.
position.
And Devin's a solid football player. He actually is a UL commit. So that's one D1 player that they have on the defensive side. The other one is Cullen McIntosh, number 11, plays defensive end. He's a McNeese commit. And then, as you said, they have several other guys that are returning. Todd Hurley brings experience back in the secondary, number 9, and so they've got a very experienced group back on defense that they've been playing really solid all year long.
Yeah, and you'll notice Calvin Hell out there, 6'3", 330, right in the middle, number 99. You'll see him.
He's a solid force.
He is. So they'll have size on the defensive side. You mentioned McIntosh. He's going to be he's going to be trying to get to Luke all night tonight, and so our tackles are going to have their hands full. On the offensive side, they turn almost everything over. It says only 4 returning starters, and 3 of those are on the offensive line. The only returning starter was it's kind of their fullback tight end.
Owen Layton,
and he had a big game against us last year, so he'll be back. And then they have a couple of receivers on the outside. So.
Yeah, but again, they're doing what they do, and Oak Grove has not been a team that turns the ball over much. I mean, they take care of the football and and fundamentally sound their blocking schemes and everything like that. And again, fundamentals of the game. And so they've been putting points up on the board this year every week, every ball game. And so again, that's going to be a challenge for our defense tonight as well.
Well, obviously it's it's one of our biggest rivalries, historically, but not all that's out the window, but we have played them a lot, so it is a good, healthy rivalry. But the implications of this game, you mentioned that, Oak Grove's playing for a piece of the district championship. We're playing for the district championship, but beyond that, a lot goes into what's happening with the playoffs. And Coach, we're in a position, and there's not, you can only do so much in, your schedule's your schedule. You can only play what's on your schedule. But we're kind of in a position where we have a chance. to put ourselves in a really good shape. We might need a little help, but we can possibly move into the top 4 but we have to win tonight. So that's
Right.
step one.
Yeah, it does. Same scenario as last year. We
Mm-hmm.
went from being a number 4 to 5 seed to losing just one ball game in week 10, and we dropped down to an 11 seed and only had one home game. And so, certainly this is huge for our guys. And again, we've talked about that playoff mindset for the last several weeks, that every game counts. But yes, this certainly has big implications as far as the playoff picture, and getting a bye, getting a possible top 3 to 5 seed, and having some home games. And so it's very big in that aspect as well.
Well, it is hard to believe. It's week 10, and this is the last regular season game of the 2025 season. Our guys still seem locked in, ready to go. The Ferriday game, being behind and then able to come back and explode like that, you can see they're locked in, kind of on a mission. And so I expect us to go to Oak Grove tonight and play. I'll take one of your phrases, play our best game of the season.
Well, that's that time of year. That's what we need to be doing.
It is. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for your time, and also want to invite all of you to come out to Oak Grove. It's actually tonight at 7 o'clock, and we're going to go watch the Eagles take on the Tigers, and hopefully come out with a win and complete the quest for an undefeated season. So, Coach, thank you. I know we got other places to be and things to do, so you guys, we'll see you tonight in Oak Grove. Thanks for watching. Go Eagles.